well. So I think when it comes to us predicting builds, I think that's kind of all out of the window, right? Like when mind games are involved and there's a lot of history as well.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I feel like TVD really hasn't changed all that much, even with the Raven nerf in a couple of months. So I think we're still going to get some really interesting, just straight up mechanical battles. But you're absolutely right. The mind games could come into it. There's been a lot of talk about those BC memes, and Pig Jr. finally showed us one. Didn't really work out. That was still one of the most epic games ever after losing a BC for basically nothing. So that can still happen for sure. And I think that it will. Vindicta he said he's a bit tired, but I really think that all the excitement's getting to him. It's been an amazing event. We do have Runamuck on the couch for at least a little while, right, casting. He's a Terran player as well, so he's going to be dropping the knowledge bombs,
We
right?
need you, man. We need that Terran knowledge from down under.
The down under knowledge.
Yeah.
Although, actually, you need me because I'm, American and
That's true as
top
well.
finalists are American.
You know, the last time that we played against each other, he beat me.
Really?
Was that a barcode?
Huh?
Was that a barcode when we played?
No, I was on my main.
On
You were lettering
Wintersgate?
NA.
But what was your name? It was a weird name. It wasn't Runamuck.
I'm pretty sure I played. It was on an ice map from last.
Yeah, I
last
know it was on
marathon.
Wintersgate, but you did
Yeah.
not play on Runamuck.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
and you're like, oh, I know this guy. I think he's going to do something cheeky, and you kind of mind gamed yourself, and that's sort of set you up for failure.
That's always great.
You're right. That did happen. It was a good game, though.
I just want to highlight, I feel like I kind of pushed Vindicta, after his first loss versus Blisk, he's like, I'm feeling really down. What should I do?
Yeah.
And I was like, if you can do 50 push-ups, I'll call you a sick cunt. And he's like, yeah?
Did he do 50?
He did 50
He did,
push-ups.
yeah.
That is actually very impressive.
He did 50 push-ups.
If I can do 15, I'm really proud of myself.
Right?
Then again, I weigh twice as much as Vindicta. So, alrighty, guys, here we go. It is time for the grand finals of the very first edition of Ozcraft. Josh, before we really get into things and we introduce these nerds, I just want to say thank you very much for getting both of us here. We've had an absolute blast. I don't say this because we're on camera, but one of the most fun events I've been part of in a very long time. I think you guys really nailed it. I am super happy to be here, and it's been a blast.
It's been a blast having you guys, that's for sure.
Thank you very much, man.
That's all right.
It's been a dream. And then also this event was super sick, man.
So I'm going to hold on to the positivity till I get robbed later in poker.
Well, there's that,
I'm setting you up for that. I'm like, no, we're friends. It's like, go on in. It's okay, Josh. All right, here we go. In the right bottom side, we're looking at the main base of the nerd that is up 1-0 in his All-American final. It is Future.
Oh, shit. He's out of his chair. Amazing. In the top left is the blue Terran. He is Vindicta. Starting things off down 1 because he came up from the lower bracket.
Do you know, Jess,
There
that
we go.
in American wrestling, if you're really good in this in college and stuff, there's multiple divisions
Yeah, you mean not WDB, actually wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the real wrestling. And I think if you're in the highest division of college wrestling, they call you an All-American. And I think that sounds
They
really cool.
call you an All-American for anything. You're the highest division in.
Okay,
not
I
just
didn't know that.
wrestling.
I think that's really cool.
It is
the
really
world taking
cool.
over.
Yeah.
It used to be I don't think it actually was really a thing, but you could see pictures of JFK shaking hands with a bunch of handsome young guys with their varsity jacket. That was All American boys. No, really.
Has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I actually did wrestling for a long time. I made a kid cry, but I didn't really make him cry. I just beat him, and then his dad berated him for losing to a girl, and that really spurred me on for the next 20 years. So. Yeah, thanks wrestling.
And then you started to make nerds in StarCraft cry.
I absolutely. Some guy literally was like, hey, Zymer, I'm a big fan. I just want you to know that I can't lose to you because you're I don't want to tell my buddies that I lost to a girl. And I was like, wow, sick. You just admitted that you're a bit sexist. That's awesome.
Exposed.
He's like, yeah, you called me out on it, and I'm totally okay. I still don't want to lose to you. All right, guys. Well, quite different build orders over here, right? Future already having this expand almost up and running. I mean, not a single SCV is here yet, but it's already transforming into an orbital command. On the other side of the map for Vindicta, his orbital is going to be a lot later. There has been absolutely zero scouting on the side of Vindicta. Is this rough for Vindicta, or is this kind of okay because he's going to be aggressive nevertheless?
That's actually a really good question. I would never do this just because T-Rex can still be tricky even if you are not going for the CC first, but that is one of the reasons you wouldn't be scared of it, and you wouldn't think you would have to SCV scout. So he's right. I just personally would be scared, but he's absolutely right to do this. He's going to have a lot of units no matter what Future opened up with, and obviously it's past the T-Rex timing, so he's got to figure out what's going on just by the units he sees, which is about to happen. He'll figure it out. Not just the Reaper here, but there you go. Unfortunately, coming into a double Hellion opener, 2-2.
I mean, obviously,
poorly for
Future doesn't
Vindicta.
have a lot of like tech going for himself, but I gotta say, having an expand that much faster and also having 4 Hellions out, you gotta kind of like this opening, right? The Marines are a little bit out of position as well. This could start very bad. Okay, the Widowmine does get a 6 shot off, but now there are no SCVs to complete this command set. Actually, there's one more over here on the right side. Can the Hellions get it? The Hellions gonna get it? Yes, they can. That's a big delay on this command center.
Yeah, already with a big delay just in general with the build that he chose.
Yeah.
And even further, Vindicta not doing so hot in the opening. I mean, it's a little bit here and there, I guess.
That
Not
was
really.
a rage auto turret almost. Like,
Yeah.
I really hate this.
Get
thing.
out.
Man, amazing start for Future.
Yeah,
I
very
think
good.
it's interesting that he kind of went for the double gas without the scout, like at all, and then didn't push across the map. It was kind of like, when I was talking to him earlier, he's like, yeah, Future, you know, he plays like a bit of a clown, and he's very aggressive. So maybe he's kind of like reading too far into that and thinking that he would also open up with double gas, but he didn't. So now there's a massive advantage going into the mid game with the economy the way that it is.
Like, the tech is faster on the side of Future, and he's got 9 SCVs. I mean, this is really sick. I have no idea how you're supposed to turn this around. Maybe this Raven can like get a couple kills with an auto turret, and then somehow you can get lucky with the Cyclone and the Hellion, but it just really seems unlikely that Vindicta can do anything about the economic deficit that he's already facing 5 minutes into this grand final.
He really can't. It's such a huge deficit, and the armor supply is nothing close to what you need to actually do damage. I mean, even if you got the Cyclone, which you really shouldn't. Okay, then. it's still like that was good. That was a good trade. It's still not enough for all the SCVs that he's down. Thirsty's already on the way. Stim is already on the way. Vindicta is. I'm not even sure what he can do. Like, he's gonna try and push, but as I was just saying, like, the armor supply is looking a little bit better after killing that Cyclone. But Defender's Advantage is gonna kick in. The Viking control in the air is gonna kick in, and eventually, or very soon rather, he's going to have Stim with a decent number of Marines.
Vindicta needs to get so much damage done
Yeah.
here. It's going to be very difficult, but it's not a question whether or not he can. He just has to. Even his third CC is later as well, so he's already down economically. That base is going to go up a lot later as well. He scans. Is he going to go for a crazy play with some interference matrices? Because the one thing that Vindicta has... Hey, by the way, he made fun of us for mentioning Triple Raven. He's like, this is super bad, man. Nobody does this anymore. And he's like, guess what? I'm going to do it in game 1 of the grand finals.
Yeah, it's actually really weird to me because that was only like sparingly a thing from the Koreans. It was like about to become the meta, and then the Raven got changed. That's really surprising, and it's not really. I don't think it's useful. Like once the Marines start pumping, it's not that useful.
Let's see. It's now or never, right? There's
Yeah, I think so.
still 12 workers down. Here
go,
come
go,
the
go,
Ravens
go,
from
go.
the left side. It's going to be auto turrets. One Raven dies with a lot of energy, or at least enough energy for one auto turret. The bunker does go down. Can Vindicta get the damage done that he's looking for? With a one shot is decent. A lot of SCVs are starting to fall. The tank falls as well. Vindicta, can he split up his units a little bit? Seems like the answer is
Vikings
yes.
will be fine. Vikings pretty good against the
Well,
tanks.
it's still 3 tanks,
Just land
though.
them again and
It's still
like,
3 tanks, yes.
lift and land. Or just go after it, I guess.
Still 3 tanks.
Okay, that works too. Citizens Arrest going down here. A lot of low SCVs though. This tank should get 2 more? 3 more? Nah, just 2 more.
Got fire there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that micro on that. That honestly, given the situation he's in, that's the best he could have hoped for.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
I honestly didn't think he would commit, but then with the third Straggler Raven coming with as much energy as it did and dropping down that last auto turret really kind of like closed out the fight.
Yeah. Well, like one of the big things there was that the tanks from Future, even if he was thinking about target firing with them, he actually couldn't hit the army. Like there was nothing to target fire except the tanks, which was I guess like towards the end he could actually hit them, but this was before with the auto turrets he couldn't actually hit the army.
Nice micro there with the Marine as well, and making sure that doesn't become a hustle to deal with. Obviously, a single low HP Viking should never be able to get that much done. There's another Viking landing in the back of a natural, and this one did pick off 3 SCVs.
Yeah, so let's not like the numbers obviously look a lot better for Future than or for Vindicta than it was a minute ago. But let's not forget that combat shield's going to be faster, Sim is already faster, upgrades are going to be faster, and barracks production is going to be faster. So a lot more Marine mobility. Vindicta still is like. He doesn't have momentum. Like that was a good trade. That was a good like reset kind of on the openings going poorly. But no one really has momentum. And I'd still say that Future actually is the one that's about to start to have momentum and to get out on the map.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Definitely not going to disagree. But I'm just happy that it's turning into a game because it started to look like this was never going to be a game. Having a later third CC, being down 13 SCVs, good luck and fun, mate. How on earth are you ever going to make something happen here? Well, he kind of did it. But let's see if Future can strike back. Obviously, he still has more units to work with, and he does have those slightly quicker barracks. That's going to allow him to build a bigger army. This is
this has to be an NA meta. I don't see this on the Korean ladder at all. Just like running in like random groups of Vikings and landing them just to deal damage.
Yeah, I feel like the Koreans still use their Vikings for like actual pushes. But these guys have been giving away their Vikings for harassment a lot.
Well, that's actually a really good move, I think, by
Yeah, it
Future
is.
at first. Not enough Marines in position.
No combat
I don't think
shields.
that's going to
No
be enough
combat
Marines
shields.
either.
That's actually huge. No combat shields with this, because catching them when they're unloading is usually pretty good, but not if you don't have combat shields
The
compared to your
Vikings have
opponent.
turned out as well. Future is winning the fight. He's got 2 Vikings on the left top side as well. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe it's no going
gonna
well.
get
That
shields.
combat shield is actually going to probably finish up.
No, repair. Oh.
Wait, he's actually killing SCVs as well on the other side of that. Another random Liberator getting 5 kills, and he got way more in the natural. There must have been a Liberator as well. I completely missed it. Vindicta killed 12 SCVs.
That's amazing, but it actually still is a Future SCV lead even after that.
Yeah, but now he's got the slightly big army. It would have been cool to kill that second medevac as well. Every single time I think Vindicta's dead, he's like, no, I'm not yet.
Oh, and here's some Liberators I forgot about earlier.
Yeah.
Does he have an armory?
Nope. Gonna fall behind on those upgrades. Even further, I suppose, I should say. Second factory already done for Future. Like, he's had just faster production with that increase in the first 5 minutes of the game. And it's been working out really well. Maybe a bit of a... Again, Vindicta getting surprising trade with those Liberators, but Future absolutely still has control over the game. Even going to go for a power move here. At the same time, Vindicta tries to, but with far less units.
Yeah, but it's still going to be good because there are barely any units. You can maybe get an eBay. eBay would be sick. On the other, we'll take a look on the other side of the map. These tanks are just going to die. What is Future going to be able to achieve with his medevacs? He's going to fly in. Not much, actually. Oh, no. Vindicta's getting some seriously good trades, even though I guess some of his Marines just disappeared over here. Future's going to try to get something done in the end, and maybe he will. Jeez Louise, this is getting close, guys.
That one tank not dying. I can't believe that didn't happen.
And it's like every time Future gets a lead, then he seems to find a way, or Vindicta finds a way of evening the game, but then Future comes in again with like the next level of the attack, gets a lead again.
Yeah. I mean, he's like clinging on, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like stepping on his toes on the edge, but he keeps on putting a finger back on. I mean, it's working, and that's what can happen in TVT. All it takes is one just like a bit more of a bad fight from Future, and Vindicta is totally back in the game. At this point, though, those 2-2 upgrades being so far ahead, finally Vindicta starts his. That's going to be the next big issue. And then offensively with tanks, if he plays absolutely perfectly, maybe he can hold with the deficit, but eventually he's going to have to get on the map, and he's going to be down in upgrades.
I feel such a lame TVT caster sometimes because I care so much about those upgrades, but there's just no other way to put it, right? Like, basically Vindicta did quite well, and yeah, okay, he got himself in a playable position, but now he's going to be down 2 upgrades for like a solid minute, maybe even a little bit more. Well, good luck and fun achieving anything in that minute. I have no idea how he's supposed to. Is he paying attention? Yes, he is. Well done by Vindicta. Scans being thrown down as well on the top side of the map. Random skirmishes. The TVTs have been fun so far this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows it. He was putting up turrets because like Future's... Oh, actually, hang on. Look at this siege up here. This is very nice. He's found a nice exposed position just south of the gas geysers.
E-base as well, by the way, in range of these Marines at this point.
That's a bit... I mean, that's one of the sloppier choices, but it is going to work out.
Yeah, this isn't fair.
Yeah, that's 2 attack and 2 armor could be next. Tank's not going to be in range. Even the armory going down with the upgrade on the way, that's not going to do anything at all. And this might be tap out time. I think once this drop, if this drop gets picked up, then like, I think that's tap out time.
This one Liberator is going to kill 17 SCVs to make it even again.
It's taking a while. Yeah, right. Taking a while to clean this up though, and he does save it, just barely.
Losing the engineering base, so rough.
Yeah. Again, armory, 1 engineering base goes down. He just has +2 on the way, which is just not what you really want.
Vindictus is everywhere at once. I have trouble keeping up observing these young nerds. I am really getting old, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and this actually going to be a good defense. Not enough units left over, and he was already in, I think, transit mode. He was ready to get out of there.
Up in work, because if he didn't lose the eBay, I'd be actually quite okay with his position.
Yeah, that's so surprising. Those tanks I thought were going to anchor that for so much longer, but it might have been one of those, like, yeah, he thought he had to retreat, and as he retreated, he got pounced on. Very unfortunate. Future still has the lead, still has the upgrades. He could even start 3-3 with 4 bases here, and he does have 4 bases to Vindicta's 3. So Vindicta's really shining on the whole like comeback matchup thing. TVT can be a beautiful matchup. You can really have a lot of cool comeback potential.
Big supply block, by the way, for Vindicta. 141, 141, a lot of money in the bank already. No depots on the way at all. Maybe he can call down for a couple of depots. Oh no, this is one of the biggest supply blocks I've seen out of him in this tournament.
I think that's really just a testament of how much pressure that Future's putting on him. Like, he's trying to do these like Liberator skirmishes to to kind of draw his army back or draw his attention. They've got a big fight coming in here. The tanks are sieging up. The Marines are stimming in and getting on top of the tanks for free.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I mean, there were units all over the place for Vindicta, but his Marine ball was just a little too big. These tanks are going to be caught out of position as well. And now the 4-base economy of Future should really start to shine. Did not start +3 armor on his Marines, but he does have +3 attack on the way. And just getting 4 or 5 tanks like that, I mean, that's pure magic.
Yeah, the tank find was really good. Vindicta couldn't do anything about that. He was already 2 out of position. This could be the very last fight. SCVs are pulled into us, and he's already down a base. Even kind of pulling into the Marines there, that's going to be game.
GG.
GG is called, but I think towards the end there, the reason he was banking so many minerals, not just the supply block, he forgot to rebuild those gas geysers. Usually the part of the drop that we care about are those engineering bays, which is true. Like, that was the best part. But he also never rebuilt the gas geysers. He realized that so late.
I mean, this was his one push where Vindicta really needed to make some magic happen, and he kind of did. I'm sure that he would love to get a tiny bit more. I almost felt that he should have, like with these 3 tanks, I feel like there was a little bit more potential here.
What do you think he should have done?
Like, first of all, move that tank further to the left, and then make sure that this tank does not get surrounded.
Sure.
Because there's no need for it to get surrounded. And then he could have unsieged the other tank later, but then the unsieged tank that should not get surrounded by SCVs can still pick up 4 or 5 more kills. I really think in that particular scenario, it's a very awkward fight, don't get me wrong, and we're just nitpicking stuff over here, but I think he can get 5 more SCVs there, and that really starts adding up.
Tanks 2-shot SCVs, so if he was able to retain that second tank for a little bit longer, that he would have killed way more SCVs, and that could have helped.
Yeah. I think, like, even if we wanted to super analyze that one fight, because that was kind of it really was so future favored until that fight, and then it got more interesting, even though it was still future favored. I would even love to go back and analyze from Future's point of view, because I think against those pushes, it's actually sometimes better, if not always better, like, to not have your tank sieged, right? Because they can't pounce on you, especially with a bunker available. So you try and, like, almost bait out the interference matrix and then just run back, wait for it to cool off, and then siege and buy time. Where he had the opportunity to throw down those auto turrets was, his choice, obviously.
I gotta say, I'm always impressed with Vindicta when it comes to his multi-prong aggression. I know that's like one of the most easy things to compliment the Terran about, but he really seems to shine or thrive in chaos, right? Like, he loves a little drop here, a little drop there, Liberator, and big army movements.
I don't know how he keeps it together. Like, maybe it's because I'm getting old, but like, once you start trying to do two to three more things, all of a sudden everything just turns to shit. Nothing micros well at all. You look back, you're like, why are the Marines running into there? Why did you do that? Why are my tanks going up hills and dying? Oh, there's a drop in my base. Oh, there's Liberators here. All right, cool. You flip the table and you get up and you walk away.
Yeah. I mean, that's what always happens. Not as though we're getting old.
But to be, to be totally fair, there were a couple of moments where maybe even Future, like sometimes I imagine like a little comic, right, where you start running so fast and you start like, maybe you're running down a hill and then suddenly you're like, oh, I'm going too fast for my own legs. And I feel like that kind of happens in StarCraft 2 games as well, because maybe that's why he hit that massive supply block. 1,100 minerals in the bank. Yes, he was very low on gas, but 141, no depot on the way. That really hurt.
That was bad.
There's only so much attention you can have, right? Everything else is probably queuing up drops.
But that's the beauty of StarCraft, right? There is only so much attention you can have, but you still want to push it to the limit.
Yeah. You can almost guarantee you didn't get that star on the time supply blocks.
Maynard would have been disappointed.
Oh, absolutely. You should just go ahead and do some Maynard stream goals. I forget what he calls them, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking as well. I think it could be stream goals.
Yeah, something like that. Sorry, Maynard. Anyways, in the top right, as the Red Terran, now up 2-0, it is Future.
All right, and down in the bottom left, his opponent in the blue trunks. It's the blue Terran, Vindicta.
Scouting in a very awkward spot.
Yeah, it's for proxies for sure.
Yeah.
What proxy is good here?
There's a jump up cliff that you can go up on that left piece there.
Why would you 2-Rex here? You mean 2-Rex Reaper?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, I was like, maybe he's worried about like some weird Marauder proxy, but I was like, that would make a lot more sense over here. I was like, imagine if you proxy Marauders and they're gonna. It's like, oh no, there's a tank out. Like,
he's not playing Supernova. There's no proxy ghost here.
Yeah, right. Even then, it's kind of funny because the 2-Rex Reaper, a lot of the potency of when it was at its height was that there was always 2 options of jumping up.
Yeah.
Right? If it's just one, it does get a little bit easier, honestly, but it is still very common proxy location. And Vindicta is clearly afraid of the early game from Future, because this is not just this game. Last game, too, he didn't scout, but he played defensively with an aggressive opener.
I still bet you guys that there is a high-level Terran nerd out there that once upon a time lost a game because somebody built like 2 barracks here, floated them here, added tech labs, and built Marauders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Well,
Yep.
I guess you could fit that. Yeah. Gets a little close. That's Platybo.
Really close, but once upon a time on one ladder game, far, far away, it happened. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
I love
He
this
is
build out of
proxying.
Future.
So this obviously could be for multiple things. It could be a Hellion drop, but if he doesn't get a reactor, it's a little bit more likely that that's going to be for a very quick Liberator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really abuses the lack of anti-air at the start of TDT, especially when they both open up the way that they have. So he's going to go for the Reaper Expand. So he'll have a delayed starport. So unless he decides to go for Tech Lab directly on the factory and then go into Cyclone, which generally sometimes they want to go into Hellions to match the Reaper Hellion count from the double gas, he'll have no anti-air. And then all of a sudden, we're going to have to see how the fight engage goes. But he might lose a lot of SCVs in the main base.
There's a random SCV in the main base of Future. That's
That's
quite good because he
scouts.
didn't see a starport.
Yeah, that's actually pretty.
That's a pretty big tell.
Yeah,
That's-
no add-ons, no
He's gonna
starport.
go for a medevac. I find that very surprising, and
Yeah.
it wasn't based off being scouted by the SCV. I don't think.
Normally you do this with a reactor and you have like
Yeah, 4
almost
enemies.
four more Reapers when the timing hits, and then you basically just pick up and you go, oh, do you have a Cyclone? Oh, okay, cool. And you just pick up the units locked on and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
cancels it.
Well, so he's just going to fight up front. We'll see how this one plays out. Once again, the timing here is good. Vindicta is getting a bit unfortunate with those exposed SCVs on the low ground. And he's obviously a little bit worried here as well. Okay, the Reapers can obviously jump up the cliff over here as well. It's a little bit awkward on Zen. The Reapers are a bit buggy.
I like the respect from this. He's just going to try and force the cancel of,
Right.
of the natural CC.
What?
Yeah, but that will never work, right?
If he gets the Bankrupt, it probably will.
These units
Even then.
cancelling a CC, I have never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
But I want you to be right so bad.
Because the Cyclone to be out is why I'm doubting it. And the Cyclone does a perfect thing. It locks onto the medevac. Future
What?
tries to
He
trade
tries
out.
to block it? That's like a next level play.
That was funny. That was funny.
I mean, that's like, look at me, I am sick.
I'm
That's,
trying to check his face, but
This is like when the 6'7" guy dunks on like the junior.
he's a
and
real
I-
Chad.
What was that? Future. I mean, it's cool enough, but it just really didn't make
You
a
got
lot of sense.
your beta mules, you know, they mine minerals, they come back home. You got your Chad mules that just land and just stop things from going anywhere.
Couple SCVs are going down.
pretty cool.
Another Liberator shows up in the main base.
Yeah, that's nice. 3 SCVs. Lots of lost mining time. That's what I expected in the first place.
Mate, put him back.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, Future is indeed hyper aggressive. It's like, obviously, Vindicta's making a couple of tiny little errors here and there. It was Vindicta's Mew, actually. Oh, sorry, I'm confused, guys.
No.
Yeah. I mean, sick Mew, but
Yeah, I was just like, Vindicta should just go across the map, right? Like, he's taken out the proxy stuff so far. And another Liberator could be deadly, but it's going to take a little while to get there. And not often the choice to go for a second Liberator after a medevac.
I love how he's doubled down and just made the tech lab on the starport with the proxy, and he's just going to make Ravens, and I
Yeah,
imagine he's just
apparently.
going to keep making auto turrets and diving in.
I think he definitely needs to, but I really like that Vindicta goes for the
Tank.
counter, because that's his strength right now is that army supply.
yeah, it's hard to get up this little ramp though, right? It's so awkward.
Yeah,
It's
it's
more
very
awkward if they have a
pretty
tank.
Yeah, that is true, and there is no tank yet. Space out those Marines. There are a couple of SCVs dying in the main base as well. What is that? A landed Viking. This man loves his landed Vikings. He gets the Cyclone as well. Only 2 Marines remain, but Future is suddenly in a lot of trouble, guys, because he's losing stuff in his main base. He doesn't really have an answer, and this tank can get closer, and he is going to get closer. Maybe he's going to try to drop on top of the tank of Future.
Yes, that's exactly what he's going to try and do. The Viking also landing is going to help out so much. The tank's going to get obliterated. The Raven comes in from left field. That
Picked
was
up
the
the
one from the
Viking.
proxy. And it's going to try and help, which it kind of does.
Yeah.
The medevac is going to escape. That's not going to be the end of the game, and Future does still hold on to his worker lead.
It could have been a little bit worse. I think Vindicta got carried away there because he basically just had a tank and 2 Marines that could have done an insane amount of damage on this mineral line.
Yeah, surely if you drop it up on the higher ground and it's like natural, you have a better chance of picking up some of the low health SCVs.
He's still trying to get a little bit of value out of his last 2 Marines and his 1 medevac, and he's going to at least pick up 2
Style.
SUVs.
Style.
This is so frustrating when you've got a Terran player that has the ability to multitask like this. You're just like,
Oh,
"Will
tell me about it as
you
a Protoss
just
player, mate.
go
Yeah.
home."
Oh, tell me about it. You know, like when they have like 4 Marauders in a medevac and
see-
you've got 3 Stalkers and they avoid every shot. I was like, wow, you're so good.
If I was playing against this, because, you know, I'm obviously not playing against Vindicta, I'd just be like, wow, you're, like, really cool. Like, that's super good.
Yeah.
Like, really
Go
good.
hard, bro.
It's like, yo, man, you must have had so many friends in high school, right?
It's the part part of the replay where you wish you could like open it up and they're at like 1K because all they're doing is micro and they drop it. Unfortunately, he's just way better. You know, he can keep up with it.
I always just am like, yeah, they probably are banking 1,000.
Yeah.
At least they're microing really cool.
Those eBays are in a funny spot. If you're ever out of position, that could get very dicey.
Yeah.
That Raven is low on HP. That Raven is going to go down. Stim is done on the side of Future. These guys just love bringing it to each other. Future is still a couple of workers ahead, which I find very surprising, and I really don't think it should have been the case. But he was able to hang in there.
Is he building from that starport again?
He reacted now.
Jesus.
Imagine if you're Vindicta and you scout a stack and be like, oh, you flew it home. It's like, no, you did not.
No, I didn't. He could have, too. Like, he hasn't been building from it. Because it is hard to go directly into, in this case, double medevacs, although sometimes you see double Vikings, right? It's hard to do that, so he probably had time to bring it home.
Nah, that's where the double proxy lib comes in later. And then he'll just shift queue them when he starts a fight and just kill a whole bunch of SCVs again and be like, oh, Vindicta, how'd you win that game? I just shift queued them and I forgot about them and they kill heaps of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Just casual 40 probes. Vindicta once again gets a couple of SCVs. Obviously nothing game breaking. Sensor towers going up on either side right now. We have armories on time over here for Vindicta. I like these eBays a little bit better than these two.
Yeah,
for sure.
Bit safer.
It's dangerous for a Terran, especially as the tank count grows, to ever use the middle lane of Zen, but it obviously does happen. And sometimes it's the best tactic because they don't expect it. So this engineering base could be in trouble. That Raven could be in trouble.
He's so fast. Like, the Raven comes in and he's already got units coming up from the south to intercept it.
It's
We're
kids
gonna
these
send
days, man.
a couple of Marines on a interesting adventure here. There is a medevac. I don't know if there's another medevac coming. No, it's not yet. It's kind of a weird move up.
You could just go through the middle again.
What are you hoping for here?
Like up to the natural?
I think this is really more about just finding out if there's anything else on the map. Like, he's not committing a lot. The idea would be, alright, are you taking a fourth? Are you trying to do a big push out? Or are you playing safe and trying to take, like, slow down the game behind a tank? Like, large amount of tanks?
Like
if he can do this,
a feeler move out. Like, he's not really trying to achieve much.
I think it's also like, yeah, well, you'd have to wait for a move out for sure, but it is really annoying because you don't really, there's times where you just don't scout that middle, and yet they can bust up that ramp even if you block it temporarily.
Yep.
And Future's, very much was setting up for that. He could also just do a drop into the main, like the classic way to do it, but busting to the natural is also possible. Finding a Liberator, that's always nice. That was totally random.
Oh, he almost could have seen that medevac come, by
There's
the way.
a gap in his sensor tower in the north. These things are going to get in for free, essentially.
That is actually a good point. That is a very, very good point.
Now, he does have a tank here in position. This is always nice, especially when you don't have like little map control.
On the turret. It does drag the Marines all the way out of position, and it somehow survives. This could be an absolutely brilliant play. Sure, it might die, but let's not forget about these 60 Marines. Oh, they're too afraid of this one tank.
No,
but imagine if he flies in and he drops on top of the tank. When all the Marines, when all the Marines were over here, that would have been the pimpest play of the tournament.
Yeah.
No, don't do it anymore, mate. You've already revealed your drop.
Well,
Liberator, he loves it.
It's doing work. He pulls the SCVs and then just leaves them.
Yeah, that's cool as well. Like, if you guys die, I don't want you to die working, okay? Be on a little smoke break or something.
Excuse me, is that stim just starting?
No.
Yes.
No.
That's why he didn't come in with the drop.
That's why he's being so passive. Okay, makes a lot more sense now.
That makes a lot of sense.
He has combat shield as well. Oh no.
You know what? I've seen worse actually. Gumio went 14 minutes without stim in the bio TVZ and still won. So it's okay.
I thought you were gonna bring up a mech game. I was like, that's kind of normal.
Yeah, right. I've seen worse. I think there's been entire games where they haven't gone stim.
Yeah. It's not the craziest thing ever. I mean, sometimes people like to build a lot of mechanical units, just like it's just a thing.
Man, that stim not being done is like, it's actually been so lucky for Vindicta that Future has been not at all aggressive. I mean, obviously if Future knew this, he'd take advantage of it, but you see combat shields especially, you assume
you're like, whoa, his upgrades are quick.
This is a good scan, because now he sees the bulk of his army moving out in the center of the map, so the idea is going to be like, okay, you're probably not going to have too much at home, even though there's some static defense.
Finds the attack lab, doesn't know about the start.
Yeah.
Oh man, this actually could be hard though for Vindicta, because obviously he's down a little bit in the upgrades. They might actually finish up in time. That double drop is once again heading towards the main base, but this is so many tanks. The thing is though, Future has to worry about 4 bases, Vindicta only at 3, so should he really be out here?
It's such a powerful position to control there as well, because you have the ability to go north and south. But now he's just going to rotate all... No? He's going to go back through the center of the map.
Hard to attack on this map, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a section that's on the right of the third, and if you control that space, you can basically dictate the entire section.
Oh, whoa. Ate a couple of very big shots. I mean, he gets the sensor out. That's cool, but pay the price for it. Vindicta is desperately looking for an opening on the other side of the map, but we saw already that he's not really getting it. The tanks of Future are eating a couple of shots as well. Vindicta does want to get his sport base eventually up and running, though, because we know that Future already has his sport base up and running. He's going up to 5 bases as well. Vindicta setting up one of his famous flanks. He had a couple of units on the north side, but I think Future is picking up on it.
The supply is just actually not great enough, I think, for that flank to work. It has to be like 50-50 on each side to really do a whole lot, I think.
Yeah, plus he has to bring the tanks into the fight.
Yeah.
Oh! There's a full medevac, and that is a full medevac. But there's so many turrets here. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
Nothing.
should be right, mate.
Yeah, nothing.
Vindicta's going to flank.
I don't think he can in this position. Like,
can.
this is really entrenched. The better way of dealing with it would be to have air control.
I
You
think
can get
if
the tanks
he
to the
has a
natural.
couple, if he has like 60 Marines
Yeah.
coming from this side as well, which he was trying to set up, I guess maybe he's okay. He's like, okay, now at least I can go up to 4 bases, even though maybe it's not the location that he wanted.
Can we look at the Marine count real quick?
Yes, we can, mate.
Yeah, I mean, in that position, it's going to be so hard to try and break it. With that many tanks, essentially any clumps of Marines you have are going to insta-die to the tanks. So unless Future is attacking into Vindicta and initiating the fight, it's going to be very hard for him to break that position. So this is basically the part of the TVT that just slows down the most, because either of them commit into each other, they're going to lose the engagement. And then you have to start going, okay, well, how much do I dedicate to which area of the map? Can I do counterattacks?
Oh, that's the on siege. Is this the moment then for Vindicta? Because I think Future should have quite a few units that are not here. So maybe this wasn't exactly the entirety of that 128 supply. We have a couple Marines here. And I can assume that, yeah, he had quite a bit at home. I actually think this was the moment for Vindicta to fight, because it's on his side of the map.
Yep.
If everything, and he tried, because he did scan quite a few times, but so did Future.
Yeah.
And now Future can actually sync up with the rest of his units, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants to get in a good position for this fort base. The tanks are a little bit fast, I think, on the side of Future.
Oh, the tank's already being sieged. I mean, half of them being sieged is perfect from Future. They're covering the rest. They go up for a siege as well. Future also
Oh
has an
my
upgrade
goodness.
lead when this was happening. Plus, the attack has been done, and those tanks are still pretty alive and well. And again, that's sieging only a portion of them. Very nicely done. That planter is going to be in a heavy amount of fire. I don't see how Vindicta actually stops that from going down. Yeah, he's abandoning it.
Yeah, that was a really smart play from Future. By occupying that space for as long as he did, he probably realized that there was potential for this around. And the better way of dealing with that is to unsiege and move and allow the other Terran to expand and like increase that surface area of attack.
Well, here we go one more time. Maybe this is slightly better for Vindicta, but he just doesn't have the numbers anymore. I mean, there were just so many units left on the side of Future, who just looks like he's in control, man. He's really playing excellent. He's getting ahead after the early games, and then he's making some great army moves as well. I really think that Vindicta should have kept scanning this army, and eventually he has everything on his side of the map.
Yep.
While Future had a solid 40 army supply that was still stuck over here. In the end, he wasn't able to punish Future for that move out, and GG gets called. Future will take the 3-0 lead in this grand finals of Ozcraft.
So how excited are you for him to win the prize pool from tonight and go downstairs and put it on the table?
He is a very adventurous poker player, I have to admit in that, but
He's very
no.
keen.
I would
is how
never
I would describe it.
I would never try. You know, eventually I draw the line. I let these youngsters have a little bit of fun with the old people, you know, but
Well, the one thing I loved about the poker that you were doing last night was you were just actively explaining to them. You're like, hey, this is what's going on.
no, I always try, but you know, it's funny because once upon a time, as we take a look at some of the highlights of this game, the next match is going to be played on Nightshade. It's quite funny because during Home Circuit Cup, you know, we like to play a little bit of poker as well. And then there were also some people that really wanted to play, but they didn't necessarily understand things, right? So I was explaining things. And then one of these dudes, I had no idea who that actually was in real life. He wrote a comment on Reddit. He's like, I just want to say that Roddy was really nice at the poker table and he explained a bunch of things. And then somebody else replied, he's like, well, that is an expert move. As a good poker player, you want to make the other players feel comfortable so you can take more of their money. I was like, yeah, that was really my reasoning for being nice. Jesus. I was
Wow,
like,
you can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, I was like, I know the internet is pessimistic, but come on. I was actually just trying to make it a fun game. It's like, do you really think that this is some deliberate plan by me to get 20 extra euros out of the random guy at Home Story Cup? I was like, oh my goodness.
I mean, 100% that guy just wanted to sound smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like,
maybe
I'm-
also pessimistic.
He's
but
like, I'm
smart.
a professional poker player myself, actually, and I always do this. I always make people think they're good, and then I take even more of their money because
Of course.
that's how I make a living. I was like, yeah, well, I don't, okay? I play
strats,
video
bro.
games for a living. Like, say again, sorry?
6 strats, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like, come on. I do really hope, by the way, that Vindicta can get it together and give us... I mean, he's not playing bad. These matches are close, and it really comes down to a couple of very fine, tiny moments. But I hope that he gets a couple of points on the board because he has played a really good tournament. I do think, to be totally fair, throughout the entire tournament, maybe Future looked a little bit better than Vindicta.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Vindicta had his moments, for sure.
Yeah. Vindicta's micro's been basically on point like the entire 3-day event, so it's like when do you get how do you extract that opportunity to showcase that?
Josh, let's get some intros going.
No
Because
space.
something cheeky is happening.
Oh, okay. I
in
thought you were
the-
going to criticize the good luck
No, I
have
wasn't
fun.
going to analyze good luck have fun over here. In the right bottom side, we're looking at the main base of the man who's up trio. It is Future.
In the top left, as the blue Terran, he is Vindicta on his last life. Never scouting that starport, by the way. Medivacs pumped
Yeah,
consistently through the last game. Not that he knew that.
This is so ironic.
Marauders?
Another proxy he will not be scouting. I don't know. He actually might scout, but
He's looked for
I
them.
think it's Marauders, right?
He's looked for them in the last
No.
2 maps.
No,
and
Reapers?
They haven't come, and now he is proxying.
he's gonna scout in general.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he doesn't take a detour to try and find them because he won't.
No, this is fine with 1 gas expand.
No, it's absolutely. I'm just saying, like, he better not shift queue it around, right?
Oh,
he better
yeah.
go across the map immediately and be like, "Where's your picks, bruh?" Even then, it's still possible with some like a bit of luck with grenades. You know, a good micro, who has the best micro, to still do a lot of damage or even win with this.
Yeah.
But Vindicta should be okay.
If you get the first Reaper kill immediately, it could
Yeah.
be game over, right? It's so sick how that works, but...
Yeah,
There is-
super sick. TVT super cool. The proxies.
oh, whoa.
Yeah, he sees it.
He knows.
Okay, yeah, he's...
Yeah. Immediately upon seeing the no barracks and then confirming with the double gas, goes for the bunker defense.
Just keep your first Reaper alive.
Yeah,
Long enough
basically.
until that bunker is done.
Okay.
That's the one job you have right now, Vindicta. Don't...
I
Okay,
like
he goes
the
for the
full
wall
wall.
off. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Just don't lose that Reaper. Make sure that it can hop into the bunker in time. Don't get you baited if the Reapers go too deep into your mineral line. On paper, this looks alright for Vindicta. Let's see if we can get it together.
I think he's fine.
Don't do that. Why would you... I mean,
It's so ballsy. Is he just trying to flex on him?
I don't know, but like this actually gives me anxiety because it's like you don't need to do that. Like just stay near your bunker, stay near your ramp, okay?
Don't. And while his bunkers are up and running and he'll have Marines, like, yeah, if he loses the Reaper, then it's possible 3 Reapers jump past the bunker because it has
Yeah.
1 Marine in it.
And there's no wall up here.
Yeah, exactly. So that, yeah, definitely don't flex. Like, you got the defense, it's good, and Future is going to have to adapt to it. I didn't actually quite see what supply those barracks were made on. Because there is, like, there's like the 15-15 and there's another one. What?
What?
This is purely just to take shots. Like if there was an opening, he
Oh,
probably
he's
run up.
working on the...
the
Starting to work
factory?
on the factory?
You don't have to land your barrack.
I don't know, guys.
Well, anyways, it's gonna see the command center. Still, obviously awesome scouting when you do this.
You know, it would have been really... I have no idea.
Is Vindicta's like scouting SCV still out on the map? Because like one of the follow-ups that generally happens from something like this is they'll be like a
Starport.
proxy starport.
Yeah.
But he's broken the container. Now he's actually getting aggressive with the double Reaper and the Hellion.
No, I think he brought it home or he got picked off by Reapers, but there is no more SCV on the other side of the map. But Vindicta is going to get a little bit of map presence right now with his 2 Reapers and his Hellion. Might actually be able to catch these Reapers. That'd be sick. This command center, for the first time the tables are turned. Before it was Vindicta losing a couple of SCVs. Now it's actually Future potentially losing an SCV. Good job there by Future though, getting a couple shots off. And both these kids have sick micro. Oh,
It's quite
That was
important
such
for
a
him
fun.
to stop them from attacking the command center. That's low enough to die. Oh jeez. The cycle's with the pop, but that is going to be awfully low.
That's a cancel.
well, there is an
Sure.
SCV.
I don't
No,
know,
there's
man,
an SCV.
I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Got
He's
it.
gonna die.
I mean,
Oh, he
Commander's
missed
gonna
by
live.
it. He
Commander's
shot at the
gonna live.
Reaper. He shot at the Reaper.
No.
I don't know if that made a difference. 32 HP is quite a bit,
That
but
was awfully close.
he shot at the Reaper.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a mistake. I don't know if it was enough. I thought Future had it, but it really did get quite low. But Future does save it. Nice control right there. That was just, he knew exactly what the threat was, and that threat was canceling the command center, and he took care of it.
Like,
All right then.
day 3, they still think I'm their barracks.
The enemy doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
If only he waited long enough to flex on a tech lab. It's always cool. You know, a lot of people still don't know that we can take each other's tech labs and reactors.
He's gonna win base trades because of that.
You saw that happen, really?
In my dreams.
Oh.
In the GSL Game 7, once in one time, MMA against MVP, sick base trade, MMA
man.
floated his barracks and stole the last remaining tech lab of MVP.
That would have been sick.
And esports was saved.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
Proud.
Golden TBTKs.
You're not stealing each other's tech labs, though, when you're both Blue Flame hell battling each other. Which is exactly when they were playing. This attack going to be pretty good, actually. The Cyclone is waiting. Oh, look. Future puts it in the middle, like I was talking about last time we were on Nightshade with TBT. So he just responds immediately.
Oh, that's
a
easy.
sweet shot.
Time to bug out, boys.
Bug out?
Yeah, like,
Bug out.
get out.
I know, I get it.
Oh, I have
I was
a
just wondering if it
I
was
just
one
like
of
the
those
way you
things.
say it.
Australian slang question. I was told once by a friend that like there's a way you guys say that you're going to pay for someone's meal. You know what it is? Shout. Yeah,
we'll
okay.
shout ya.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to use that when I hang out with more Australians later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wrong go. That's all I remember, mate.
Oh, this counter is going to be pretty good here. This is actually really good.
There's not too much he can do here, to be honest. Like, he has no air control, he has no vision to kind of like even push the tanks into a location to hit
Shouldn't he
any
have-
infrastructure inside Vindicta's base. Like, this is purely just a threat.
I
Hi,
was gonna say,
I'm
it should
here.
be an air unit, and I was like, where is it? It's
Ah,
a
here it
Banshee,
is.
that's why.
What's all we
That
said?
might drag the Raven out of position, and that maybe makes it a little more scary for this tank, right? The Raven and Cyclone probably need to get into the main base, because obviously there's no turret here. Vindicta, how are you going to manage this, my friend? And at the same time, keep a close eye on the mini-map, because I think Future might try something with his main army. This Banshee did get shut down, and he is going to try something with his main army. Is this going to be good enough? He's going to siege all 3 tanks. Pick up these units. Yes, exactly. That's a sweet play, I think, by Vindicta, right? Yes, that is a sweet play. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think it's a good play.
He's still not going to clean it up.
Yeah, but he kills 2 out of 3 tanks.
Well, that is good to start the cleanup. You actually need to clean this up. It's on your natural,
Yeah,
and
it's
Future
all
is
about
not all in
competition.
behind this.
Maybe he actually should have pulled SCVs during all of that as well.
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
This one other turret really has some serious work to be done. Really good micro again on the side of Future. This tank is not getting surrounded by SCVs, but
No
Vindicta
Cyclone.
did buy a tiny bit of time
No
for his
anti-air.
tank.
No
good
anti-air? Banshee go? Banshee go? I mean, you don't have to cloak because Raven's there, but there's like no Marines. There's 2 Marines. No Cyclone. He's trying to get one now. But he's not going into the main base.
These guys are really just trading blows for blows. Every time I'm like sitting there looking at the mini-map, something else is happening, or they're just rallying into each other and creating constant fights.
This was a big win for Future in the end. Like, I love what Vindicta did, but I actually underestimated as well. I thought it was going to be enough.
Yeah.
It turned out it was barely not enough. But I think if he would put a couple of SCVs, then it would have all been a lot smoother.
100%.
But that is, I think that is exactly the thought process he had. He was
Yep.
like, I got this.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have done that. That's puts him in a bad position. He also scanned the main, and maybe depending on the timings of the additional barracks, he can tell there was a 3rd CC. But he also might just think that he's in an okay position when really he's not. 3rd CC on location, 11 SCVs up, with faster stim and even slightly faster 1-1.
Yeah, this is about to be the saddest Cyclone once he gets over to the 3rd base and sees that it's basically on location and mining.
This is the 2nd scan already into the natural that Future has dropped. Future is flying around with 2 empty medifacts.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice mind game.
Auto turrets try to be annoying, and it will always be annoying. 1 SUV.
I think he's got another Raven coming down below. Sensor Tower sees it, but he's not
is cool.
responding.
Future is so cool. What is this? Is he styling on him?
Yeah, it feels that way. And he's just going to bug out.
Full scout, drag the army away. He does lose a couple of SCVs to the outer turret, but
The 2nd Raven.
That's okay.
One Viking
Oh,
did
better
shut
than
down the
okay.
Raven on the right top side, but there is 1 more Raven remaining.
yeah,
Guys, I
so-
hate to say it, but I feel like Future is really just kind of outplaying Vindicta in this series, unfortunately.
But see, aggression.
Yeah.
He creates early leads, and he's always able to hang in there. And then Vindicta makes a good play, and you're like, he's almost back. And then if you just like, bam, stay down, you know? It's like, no, I'm still ahead.
Yeah. Future is not making too many of those hasty decisions we've seen from the other players in this tournament. Maybe 1 or 2, but he has like really super solid macro behind it, so that every time it's like, oh, was that bad for him? No, he still had 30 supply.
Yeah. How do you get back into this game? He's Vindicta. Like, you
Yeah,
gotta
I
make
think-
something happen at this point. Like, you need to cripple him in one way, or you need to try and take a position that allows you to trade better. But there's no map control. These Vikings are creating more distractions now. The Future's moving out through the center of the map.
Well, I think if you slap this attack down, somehow you get a great fight, a great engagement. I don't know how he's going to do it, but it's possible. The army supply are quite close, but he just needs to win here. I think if you take a favorable trade at this point, then it's not all that bad. Don't fight before you upgrade. The upgrade's going to be done in 7 or 6 seconds. This could very well be it. Like, if he steams forward right now, Vindicta, no, he misses his opportunity. No.
I'm surprised Future let his tanks be on siege for that long. That was awfully dangerous.
Awfully close already towards this command center.
Yeah, but his combat shield is going to be faster here, so Vindicta cannot break this for some time. And I don't know what the choice is here. You can, I was going to say, go for the drop with the Marines. That will open up the opportunity to take on the tanks, though. If Future realizes this is what's happening, he could try and bust this.
This tank is already so sick. The other tank is going to be even sicker. This entire mineral line at this point is obsolete. Like, you're not going to be mining of this anymore. Vindicta is going to realize this as well. There is so much depending on this triple drop. We saw the triple drop of Little Piggy, turning it into the greatest game of the tournament. Maybe this could be the greatest triple drop of the tournament as well.
I really hope so. I know Vindicta plays better than this, so it's kind of a shame to see him kind of like have the potential to lose the 4-0.
Well, 3-0.
True. It was a good map start here for Future. Made it a little bit easier for him, but also just really superb TVT play. Just barely enough held back defensively with that tank sieging up to take care of this. He's denied Vindicta's third base entirely. He's just trying to float it on over. He
sniped 2 depots and both were double depots, right, from the call down for supply depot. So that's actually kind of a good start. And getting a couple of extra SCVs as well. This is an awkward fight for the Marines of Future, but Vindicta unfortunately just lost a few too many Marines in that first exchange. He's leaving one medevac behind, and that is the real one. So, okay, I mean, obviously this is still bad, guys. I'm not even going to talk about that. Let's just see what these Marines can get done here for young Vindicta. Can he drop on top of the tank? The answer is yes. There's one more tank, but then just walk to the south side. Run over here. Oh, we'll go for that. That's a bit ambitious, but maybe.
Seriously value medevac right now. And the other 2 medevacs actually got away. So this is really quite valuable for 3 medevac drops. And he got up mining again on the third base. Okay, he doesn't get 3 tanks, but still pretty good. He got the other base up too while Future was dealing with that. He wasn't checking around for the bases.
Hey, there was something here. I don't know what it was, but whoa, what? Liberator!
Oh, Liberator, of course. Sure, just assume. We see the workers killed. It's going to be a Liberator.
Okay. As much as I love to watch them doing economic damage, I feel like he really needs them to kind of break the tank position that Future's setting up.
I mean, but look at the work count at this point. Future is losing so many SCVs. No, I mean, I think if Vindicta can just hang in there a little bit longer, it's not all that bad anymore. And obviously, he didn't forget about upgrades or something. He's getting 2 defensive liberators. Future seems like he's had enough. He's getting tanks in a very good position. I think Vindicta, I think you float back up. I know that's awkward, but I don't think you really want to defend this orbital. You can like hold the line, but you don't want to defend this orbital. No.
Well, because the Liberator's going to be able to push this back.
Okay.
There's actually not much he can. He's going to float it.
I like it. I like it.
I think that is the safer call, but the Liberator should be coming out here and taking advantage, especially of how much terrain is between that gap there.
Yeah, but Future still has the bigger army. No, actually, Future's going to run into those tanks. They were still siege. The army of Future is massive, though, and he's coming in from a bigger concave as well. And it's 2-2 upgrades against 1-1. This was a tiny moment where Future had the economic lead. He will get the clean sweep in the finals. Rough grand finals for Vindicta, but an awesome performance for Future, who after winning Cheesadelphia in 2019 gets another big offline victory, this time in the land of Down Under. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, been awesome watching these guys play.
That's my boy. He's growing up so fast.
Oh, I was like, I can barely hear you. Sorry, man. That was a fast 4-0. Of course, it was with the 1 on top. Everyone coming in here to cheer on the USA boy. Hello,
now it's
Future.
time to play some poker.
All right, mate. First of all, congratulations. I know there's quite some people here in this building. They all want to applaud you, so maybe we can do it all together. Guys, the champion of the very first edition of Ozcraft is Future. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great performance, mate. Was that the grand finals performance that you were hoping for?
Thought it would be a little bit closer. Like Vindicta's pretty tough. Like recently, he owned me at Cheesadelphia, which was kind of rough. Like that was tough. And then I was also getting owned by Epic at Cheesadelphia as well. Like my TVT has been kind of dodgy lately. But, aggro donkey style, sometimes it works out in tournament, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just feeling it and they're not feeling it, and you can just punish those little mistakes. So, I mean, I feel like I was playing extremely well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vindicta had a rough series, but, still a fantastic player, and, he's someone I respect a lot.
Yeah. Did
That's
you
good to
notice
hear.
that, I think we identified in kind of the first 2 games that there was a bit of mind games coming from him?
Yeah.
Did you kind of notice that?
Yeah. Also for me, literally no scouting.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Because I think that every NA Terran is extremely scared of my 2x Reaper. So they always blind counter it. So I was just punishing that, right? Really greedy, no scouting. Next game, also no scouting, but extremely aggressive. So I like to play very tempo-based style, very aggressive, very in your face, and if you're not feeling it, you're just gonna get owned, basically.
You obviously had a great start on this map, but I was actually a bit worried for you here when those 3
Yeah,
tanks
it should have been really good for me because his
Yeah.
build kind of sucked. I think his build was awful, but
I think if you would have microed those tanks a tiny bit better and you don't get this around.
this was definitely the roughest game because I lost a few Vikings for free, and then
sure.
this was definitely the least clean game. But yeah, I just think the build read is kind of outdated.
Yeah.
That's a really old build. It's not as too good.
Do you know
Yeah,
why?
no, too.
Or do you have an opinion as to why it's not too good? Because it was
It's just
becoming a
it
thing.
just delays your you just delay your economy way too much for no reason. It's just not very good. You just have no economy, so I'm just ahead in every way. I have a faster 3CC, faster extra barracks. You get your Raven maybe 30 seconds faster, but literally means nothing. You know what I mean? 30 seconds doesn't make up for having later everything. It's
Yeah,
not.
makes
It's not
I
good.
noticed you guys don't play a heavy air style anymore, like they do
Yeah,
in Korean
it's
Labs
kinda,
still.
yeah.
I know it's phased out a little bit with some of the changes, but a lot of problems that I see came within these games, especially with map control and things like that. I felt could have been handled by playing that style.
It definitely helps, but also a good thing to remember is whenever you're in high pressure situations and you're in a tournament setting that's really intense, the more complicated you make the game for you, the harder it is, right? The more you have to think, the worse. You'd rather just play a style where you can be brain dead and just play mechanics and just do things on autopilot.
That's why I
So
play mech.
going Vikings, for example, a lot of times when I play Vindicta, I'll go Vikings, and then he'll just never transition, and then I'll just overthink it and just get caught off guard, and he'll flank me. In that Pig Junior series, he kept flanking Pig Junior when he had all the Vikings.
Yep.
And Pig Junior was playing correctly. It's just very difficult to do that in a tournament setting. So a lot of times, I think I'm better, so I'd rather just play a style where I can just do that.
I think you got a little bit fortunate here when he decided to pick up the tank and the 2 Marines and he tried to kill your tank,
Yeah.
right? Well, I think if he would have stayed on the low ground, that would have been a lot more
I
annoying
had no,
for you.
I had no real way to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, did you know that his stim was late?
No, I had no
He
idea.
actually, so that drop that we just saw, I don't know if you caught it, the double
The
drop
double
on your
drop.
main, that was when he realized he didn't have stim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's just really respecting that one tank. That's really what I thought. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, this was obviously a really great position for you.
Yeah,
This
at
fight
this
was-
moment, and also in the last game, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I have the upgrade advantage, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna kill him.
Yep.
And that was just basically.
Oh, that last game, by the way, that wasn't that big of a window, but yeah, it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I saw that I had the upgrade advantage, so I was like, oh, okay, to hell with it.
Close your eyes and hope it stays like this during the fight. No, very well done. I mean, we're looking at some of the final moments here, but I think at this point, this game was already over. And when you
Yeah, I didn't realize that I didn't
Yeah.
have the upgrade advantage. That was the window there.
maybe a little specific question. Obviously, you had the tanks and the Marines for a long time outside of his third base,
Yeah.
right? But obviously, that went on for so long that at one point you're maxed out, he's maxed out, but you have 40 supply
Yeah,
on
I
the other
just
side of the map. Is that scary?
I just don't. I don't think I can lose a game like that.
Okay.
It's just I'm so comfortable in that situation because I have siege units.
Yeah.
The reason why TVT is interesting is because you have the siege mechanic. So that means that even though he could have more supply than me, or we could even supply,
Yeah.
if I have the better position, for example, he has no fourth base, and I'm taking a fourth, I'm taking 50 extra command centers. There's no way for him to trade cost efficiently. It's just game over in my opinion. As long as I don't make a major mistake, and I feel pretty comfortable not doing that. I'm more than goal in that kind of situation.
But eventually, you do have to sync your armies up, though, right? Because you kind of want to have
yeah,
all the...
I think I did that right.
Yeah, no, you did
I
that
brought
perfectly.
everybody
But
together
I
and
mean,
then-
that journey from that place to the rest of the army, is that scary?
I don't think so because because I had 6 or 8 tanks.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to trade poorly with 6 or 8 tanks if you're
Cool.
on top of your scanning.
Awesome. This was close, by the way.
Yeah, that was
6 save.
I wasn't respecting it. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what are you doing there?
All right, production. I think these highlights are awesome, but I believe a lot of nerds want to start wrapping things up here. So, Future, once again, congratulations.
Thank you very
I am
much.
going to give... No, this is your speech. Don't just hand trophies over like that,
Oh,
Josh.
man.
I was going to say, this is where we're going to officially do the trophy ceremony. Run amok, the man who has put an insane amount of effort into making this tournament happen, is going to take the word for now, and he's going to hand over the trophy.
Joseph, may I bestow upon you the first Ozcraft trophy?
Thank you very much. The first of many.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
you sick cunt.
Thank you. Thank you.
You played some amazing games, and it's been an inspiration to watch you as a young player growing up. I remember coaching you many years ago.
Yeah,
with some
I remember
very
Really?
that.
Is that a
things.
true story?
No, he actually helped me a lot in 2017.
Yes?
He went on all. He talked a lot and helped me with a lot of things. Like in 2017, like Panda Bear helped me a ton. Run Amok helped me a lot. There's a lot of people who have helped me grow as a player a lot.
And just to watch you and your career kind of just explode, and you've just kind of taken it upon yourself and improved as much as you have. It's been a real treat.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Duke.
I appreciate it.
I think that's awesome.
Thank
Well-
you to the production team, to Kevin.
I don't know. Can we maybe for a split second get Vindicta over here as well? Would be awesome. I mean, he too played an absolutely fantastic tournament.
Miguel!
I mean, I know the grand finals didn't work out for him, and I'm sure he's a little bit bummed out, but he played some fantastic games throughout the weekend, and it would be awesome to see Vindicta here for one last
move
time
up?
as well. You're free to leave, mate.
Okay.
Once again, congrats.
Appreciate
awesome.
it. Thank you
What's
very much.
next for you?
Cheers.
I'm just gonna try to like just own it, like I am and all that stuff this
Yeah.
year. Like I'm actually extremely motivated. I think I have a ton of potential to do well. Like I think I have a lot of things go my way that I grasp pretty well. Obviously, I have some flaws here and there, but like I feel very confident to have a great year this year.
All
And
right.
obviously, 3 years in total. So I'm looking forward to this year like a lot.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see it, matey. Good luck and everything.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, now where is that lovely runner-up of ours? Can we find Vindicta somewhere? Miguel. Is Vindicta here? That would be awesome to get him here for a little bit, because of course Vindicta too played an absolutely epic tournament. I believe I see him next to Future, no or not?
Maybe
Maybe that's not here.
maybe not so much.
Okay, maybe he left. Maybe he's swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, he actually just ran towards the ocean and is just bathing himself in the salt water.
All right, well, if we can get him here, I just want to say thanks to Vindicta, of course, as well
Yeah.
for making the journey over from San Diego, California. Played an awesome tournament, showed a lot of fantastic games. Unfortunately, in the grand finals wasn't enough, but I'm very proud of that young man as well.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. We've obviously seen better from him. He was like kind of styling it up and kind of really paving the way for the Americans at the beginning of the event. But just not able to close it out, unfortunately. So
Let's do it, matey.
sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Let's continue with where you were before I interrupted you because I wanted to find Vindicta.
Ah.
Shout out to that amazing production crew of
Yeah,
yours.
shout out to amazing
Yeah.
production crew and everyone behind the scenes. You guys rocked.
Oh yeah.
Production!
Let's go. Actually, I
Everyone's
want to say
drinking.
a lot of really cool graphics and stuff, and you know, a lot of things that are quite advanced when it comes to like picture-in-picture and in-game replay and stuff like that. If you would have told me we would have that, I would have laughed at you. I was like, "There's no way!" Like, I'm just happy
Not
if
in
we
Australia.
get a stream running and stuff. But no, actually, some really cool stuff by your team. So very well done.
Yeah. You can thank Peppy for that as well. He did a lot of stuff with Node CG behind the scenes, helping us out.
That was pretty
And
cool.
then we had
man.
our man Elam with the graphics. There's a whole bunch of other content creators, which is really useful, and everyone else was kind of working behind the scenes.
Love it. Production team, we killed it.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Jess, any final words from you?
This has been an awesome event. Like, everyone is so friendly and really made me love Australia even more. I mean, obviously, location great, mansion great, beach great, friends great, but then I met a lot of really cool people here. And, man, it far exceeded expectations. Let me be honest, when you messaged me, I was like, well, this is either a bamboozle or it's going to be, like, in, like, a shack, you know, on the alley, like, type thing.
You want to hear a
This
true
is so good.
You want to hear a true story from me?
What's that?
I was like, in the old days, like, I knew you, but I was never like, I was like, I don't know if this Runamuck is like that cool of a dude or not, you know? I was like,
Right.
this weird dude with his piercing and his eyebrow piercing. And I was like, I'm pretty damn sure that this guy doesn't like me. And then suddenly, 3 years later, I get a DM. It's like, yo, man, you want to come to Australia? I was like, is this actually the point where I take a trip and I get killed? Like, I was like, there is a chance. But I kept talking. I was like, you know what? I think he's actually pretty all right. I was like, I'm just going to go for the journey. But if I would have, like, stepped off that airplane, I would have been dragged into an event. I wouldn't even have been mad. I was like, this is my own fault. I should have known. He's mad. I built a Nexus in front of his natural, and he never forgave me. Something along those lines, you know. But no, I couldn't be happier that I made the trip. I said it many times, not trying to suck up too much, but truly a unique, special experience, and I really loved it.
And I really hope everybody's enjoyed it from you guys at home. And speaking of which, we would love to run another Ozcraft. Obviously, the intent would never to be to do a singular event. So if you guys have enjoyed what you've been watching and you want to assist in potentially bringing us another Ozcraft, there are some panels down below if you want to do some donations. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'm sure everyone will give the thumbs up because I'm sure we'd love to invite everybody here and build upon what we've started. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in, guys. It's been a hell of an experience to not only now like fully conceptualize and bring something to life and bring it home to Australia.
Well said. I'm proud of you. I think the final words are yours. You're the man who organized it all. I think we said it all. Once again, from both of us, thank you so much.
Thank you.
No worries, you're welcome. And to everyone at home, see you, mate.
Good day, mate.
Good day.